Now, we get asked all the time, what are your favorite shoulder pads? What do you recommend? And frankly, in the past, I've avoided the questions in the comments because I don't have a lot of good answers. And that's frankly because we don't get sent a lot of shoulder pads, and because of that, we don't really have a lot of good experience or advice to give you. In fact, really the only shoulder pads we know about are what the pros wear, and those can be pretty expensive. But we are trying to be better about giving you guys more affordable options, not just stuff NFL players can afford. So for that, we're showing you 2 affordable pair of shoulder pads, both from our partner, Sports Unlimited. Now, if you are looking for any shoulder pads, we actually highly recommend Sports Unlimited for a couple reasons. Number one, they carry even the stuff that we were talking about that the pros wear. Yes, it's expensive, but if you want to pick it up, they have it. They have price points all the way from that, all the way down to these, which are sub $100 for a pair of shoulder pads, which is actually really good. So today we're going to unbox 3 different pairs of shoulder pads from Sports Unlimited, try them on, see how they feel, and I'm going to give you some different tips along the way. Tip number 1, one of the main reasons people buy their own shoulder pads is because teams will hold on to their shoulder pads for years, and that means a ton of bacteria is grown on them. So we recommend picking up your own shoulder pads and keeping them clean. At least you know where your own body's been. Okay, so we basically have 3 different pairs of shoulder pads we need to try on right now. At least 2 different pairs we know will fit. So I got an XL in both of their styles of shoulder pads. So the first ones we're going to look at here are going to be the Sports Unlimited Stealth in the XL. These are supposed to be an all-purpose pad. One thing I actually really like is on the front of these, there's no drawstrings. We just have this kind of strap that goes across. Growing up, having to always retighten that strap sucked. So I love that they got rid of that. The shoulder cups on the sides are decently big. There are 2 of them. Really big, thick padding on the inside here. And as we kind of walk around these pads, one of the things that I'm talking a lot about is cleanliness in shoulder pads. But you can actually see with these, they basically have these strips of Velcro here. So you undo this Velcro and all the padding can pop out. You can wash it. You can do anything you need to it to keep it clean, which is really nice. On the sides, we have some really big, thick belts here. What I like belts, obviously belts are better. They're more secure and they go into the pads. Let's try. Come on. Tip number 2, I always know it's time to clean my shoulder pads when I start to get zits along the side here where the belts rub against. When I start to get zits here, I realize the shoulder pads are dirty and I need to clean them. As far as price goes, these ones are, I think, 140 bucks, which is still really good. Definitely affordable for a pair of shoulder pads that you are going to be buying yourself here. I do like the belts. I like how they're nice and thick here. They have a really small pad on the side that you want to make sure you feed that belt through. They have these pads on the side here that kind of give you a little bit more protection around the interior of your shoulders. So I actually pulled one out already because I was kind of experimenting with how much more mobility it gives you, which it is definitely a little bit more. But like I said, the nice thing is these pads, if you don't like it, just pop them out. As far as mobility goes, mobility is decent with these pads. You feel a little restricted kind of up through this motion here, right? A little tougher, it's a little stiff. And these cups are going to be pretty big under here, so I'd recommend these for anyone on like maybe the line or anyone that wants a little bit more padding, linebacker, running back, something like that, that's not worrying as much about kind of getting your arms up in the air like this. Someone that's kind of staying down a little lower. Padding overall feels pretty nice. Now these aren't XL, which felt nice for me. I do feel like they're kind of rising up on me a little bit, so I kind of wish they hung down just a little bit lower on me here. But like I said, a couple of the really nice things about these: price, no drawstring on the front, and here's going to be those same Velcros. The entire inside of the shell is removable, so you can wash it, and honestly, that's one of the biggest features with these. Overall, not bad, but I think the next ones are by far my favorite. Tip number 3, the easiest way to keep your shoulder pads clean routinely is to get some form of disinfectant spray, leave in your equipment bag or locker, and spray them after every practice. And obviously, occasionally give them a wipe down, get rid of all that sweat. So the next ones we have here are going to be the Sports Unlimited, and these are going to be the Excalibur pads. So a couple nice things, I already like these more. Even holding them in my hand, they feel so much more lightweight, which is really nice. Same no drawstring on the front right here. Same kind of style of cups, but you can tell the padding is a little bit thinner on the inside. You can also see the padding, there's like a texture to it, so this stuff's just a little bit more breathable. Again, you can't take it out like the other ones, at least I don't think. Oh, you can. Okay, so all the pads are Velcroed in here, it's just a little different system. So you can take all the pads out, but overall in my hand, these just feel like, honestly, a little better. Now these are the adult ones, so they do have a buckle, but the kids ones do have the kind of straps that are a little easier to do. Same style of belt. The thing I actually like about more is look at this pad, how much bigger this pad is on here. I like how it kind of wraps around you a little bit more, so I think that's honestly a plus with these over the other ones. Tip number 4, make sure to use the sizing chart they have included online. That way you can get the right fitting pads for yourself. So here's going to be the Excalibur pads. A couple of the different features with this, like those pads we talked about. These ones are removable as well with the Velcro, but they're kind of move around a little bit more, so even if you leave them in, you have a little bit more flexibility. Overall, the pads just feel a little bit lighter and a little bit more mobility. Actually, a lot more mobility. So I actually really like these pads. Again, no drawstring in the front. Overall, it doesn't feel like it's riding up too much around my collarbone. It's sitting down slightly lower on me, so for my body type, these feel a little better. And like I talked about, these are only 100 bucks. The other ones are 140, like sub $100 American dollar shoulder pads, which is like unheard of. And honestly, even with the quality level, now to be transparent, Sports Unlimited is a sponsor of today's video, but we would not promote something on the channel that we didn't trust. And like, honestly, when I got these in my hands and saw the quality of these things at sub $100, you can't really knock these things. These legit, if you want to buy your own pads, I don't know of anyone that can compete with these. Tip number 5, when you're using that sizing chart, make sure to have someone else help you get those measurements because it's really hard to do on your own. And if you're between two sizes, go up if you're still growing. Now, as far as back plates go, we've already talked about back plates in some of our other videos. You can see here's the back plates here. You can just see, you can kind of put it at couple different settings on here, depending on how low you kind of want this thing to sit on your back. You can adjust and they go into the holes right here that I can feel. So for me and my body size, I'd probably want it to hang the lowest setting about right there. Hopefully you can see that. And again, same back plate would work on the other ones that I featured earlier as well. So overall, these are a really good shoulder pad. Just for fun, I have one more pair to try on. Those ones would go with the little brother of this back plate, the Youth. Tip number 6, get an all-purpose pad if you don't know what position you're going to be within the next 2 seasons of football. If you think you're going to be switching positions a lot, get something all-purpose you can use everywhere. But if you've already picked a position that you know you're going to play for a long time, go something a little bit more position specific. So the Youth shoulder pads, really the only difference with these is going to be the belts on here. It's kind of that elastic material style. Let's try these on. For these belts, I guess while I have them on, these are the style where they just kind of go in, click, and pull out. Old school, had them growing up, nothing wrong with them. Just the new ones are a little bit more secure for, you know, taking more contact at older ages. This was legit supposed to be a small bet. Just don't screw around, and just if they fit, they fit. Oh, I'm not messing around and doing that again. Final tip, if you're still growing, do not spend ridiculous money on highly expensive shoulder pads, especially if you know that you're gonna outgrow them within 1 to 2 years. It's just not worth it. So there's today's video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the try on. I hope you guys enjoyed how we mixed tips into the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed the pad we used. Honestly, super affordable shoulder pads if you're trying to pick up a pair for yourself. Highly recommend these. And thank you to Sports Unlimited for partnering with us on today's video. I'll see you next time.